What's going on, everyone? Episode number 48. All the small things. Consistency versus perfection starts right now. Hello, everyone. Yeah, I just do that from time to time, just random accents. I know, I'm probably, you're all probably chuffed to bits. Sorry, I had a little bit of an energy drink. I had about a half of one, a little 3D. Went to the bank this morning. It's Columbus Day. They're not open. So I wasn't able to drop off what I needed to at Bank of America. So I totally forgot that it's Columbus Day. So my bad. I should have looked at it. Now I'm super annoyed. I hope you all had a fantastic, awesome, interesting weekend, because I did. Got super out of my comfort zone once again. Did some film work that I am learning. I'm learning, and it's going to be good. I got to do a lot of different things out of my comfort zone as far as with film work, some audio work that I once again am not all that familiar with. I know that you guys think that having a podcast and setting it up and filming yourself is like so. For some of you it's so cool. Some of you it's super annoying, and you guys hate it. But it's pretty easy. You know what I mean? Pretty much just talking to a camera, and it works. But when you're, what you're trying to do is you're just trying to put yourself out there, and if people enjoy it, they enjoy it. But now when you're trying to actually build something and make something, it makes everything so much more interesting, so much harder to do that type of stuff, to keep that type of pace up with that. You're building something, you're trying to paint a picture for somebody, so it's a hell of a lot harder. And I got to learn. It's just it's great. So I hope you all got out of your comfort zone a little bit this this weekend. That's super awesome. And I want to talk to you all a little bit about. I have had probably about 8 clients reach out to me since Thursday, and it was all about what should I be doing. These are all people lately that have been kind of coming back. It's kind of a big thing that people start coming back during around the holiday season, or kind of getting into when the kids go back to school, that type of thing. So they're coming back, and I told some of them, hey, I need something from you before you start. And I think that this is a great idea. I actually got it from Jen. Jen's awesome, one of the head trainers, our head trainer that we have here. And I told them I need a little bit of consistency from you to start. And some of them were a little mad that I said it, and some of them understood why I told them that we needed a little consistency from them. So the reason why I said what I said is because it's not about perfection. That's not what I'm after. That's not what any of you or any of us should be after, any of us mortal folk. We need to be after consistency. And I know a lot of you will need to hear this. And I know that the people that are around my circle hear me talk about it very often. So I'm hoping this helps kind of clear some things up. I'll relate it to, fitness. I'll relate it to, I guess. But we also can relate it to certain things in life. And I've talked about it in previous podcasts, but I've never just talked about this subject. So consistency over perfection. What's going to win? What's going to do? How are things actually going to play out for you? So these people who reached out to me said, what do you need from me? What are you talking about? I need some consistency first. I need you to consistently track your food, because they want to come back to train with myself and our staff. And I don't think these things are too crazy to ask, but it shows how serious you are and how badly you want those results. And remember, I have no horse in the race. You're my horse in this race. It's you that I'm, trying to help, or you're my people. You're my human. You're why I make I make nothing lying to you, So I want you to track your food for 2 weeks. It just shows that you can learn, change, do that. Well, I said a week, but 2 weeks are really good. You want to keep, getting your steps in, making sure that you're just going for a walk, really simple. And, making sure that you sleep properly, that type of stuff. But more importantly, I just want some consistency. Now, why do I want consistency? Because I'll take consistency over anything else, okay? Because here's why. If you track your food, you get your steps in, you work out, go to sleep the next day, and you did the same thing almost every day. Let's just say 5-6 days a week. Gave yourself a nice rest day where you recovered, focused on other things. It's great. But once again, those small things done well add up. So I'm not asking for perfection. You think that I'm asking for perfection, or you think the only way to do it is all or nothing or just perfection. We need to teach that out of people, okay? Practicing it every day will get you right where you want to be. It's these little victories over time that add up. Small things done well add up. And I know how annoying that can get to some of you because I've said it so much, and I know that you're practicing it. So maybe it's not. Maybe it's a reinforcement. I guess I got to stop talking so down about this type of subject, because I say it all the time, but if somebody else hears it and it's new to them, it could change their life. So here's the thing. Here's the type of person you want to be. Being more consistent will help you with just about anything. Let's just say, you wanted to lose, 25 pounds. So you get started. That one day, day number 1, you prepped your meals. You got plenty of rest. You got up nice and early, though, to get to the gym. You killed it. Then the next day, you did the same thing. Then the next day, you did the same thing. And then the next day, you did the same thing. But then Thursday came along. Went out with your friends. You drank. Oh, shit, I drank. I shouldn't have drank. It's going to ruin everything. And then you let it affect you for the next, 3-4 days? You stop prepping. You stop getting up early. You stop going to the gym. You stopped, whatever it is. I'm just relating it to this because it's the easiest one. You can taking care of your health and just insert whatever situation. Learning another language. You could take being a better dad, being a better son. I talked about that, just trying to make things stop in practicing doing that one thing that pisses you off that you do. What doesn't matter? You can insert anything you want there. And all of a sudden you just let it get to you and you stop. Okay? Because you screwed up. Oh my God, I screwed up. I'll never. Here's the thing. If you would have just let that day be done, you had your drinks and you had, you got a little wasted and you went to Taco Bell, had a cheesy gordita crunch or 2, whatever. I can't have 1. I'd have 2. Let's just say you did that and you're like, oh, I can't get back. And then you just never got back. What do you think that's going to do to you? You're never going to be consistent. You're never going to get where you needed to be, or it's never going to do anything for you because then you stopped. So you're not consistent anymore. See, here's the thing. You think that consistency needs to be perfection. It doesn't. Consistency just means that you're practicing these small things every day that eventually will lead you to your goal. Now, with that being said, can you screw up? Yes. But the biggest screw up is when you screw up and you never start again. Because now, once again, we talked about failure before. Now you're going to fail by default. That shit sucks. You know what I mean? Then it's just always like all or nothing. I'm an all or nothing type of person, man. I need to do all or nothing. It's like, good luck with that shit. You are not going to go anywhere. Trust me. I know. I've been an all or nothing person. I've been that, like, I'm gonna do it, and I did it. I've done it. I remember I was like, I'm gonna, this is when I had essentially no fucking life, but it's like I'm gonna go to the gym every day, an hour and a half. I'm gonna make sure I eat sweet potato, broccoli, and boiled chicken breast, and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make sure I get 6 meals a day, and I'm going to, and it's like I'm gonna go to the gym. And you do that thing, and I've done it for 3, 6 months. Yeah, I look great. I look phenomenal. It was great. I'm not saying I didn't. But here's the thing. Do you want that to be your life? I didn't. It's not for me. I'm not saying that you can't do those things and enjoy your life and live it, but it wasn't for me. So is it for you? So you bring it back a little bit. You just need to practice more consistency on not doing those things against your goals. Do the things, you are the things that you do sometimes. So practicing that consistency is always good. So where it leads is you being more successful with the things that you want to actually do. So if you're asking perfection out of yourself, you're never going to get anywhere. You're never going to. Some of the greats have screwed up royally and just haven't done, just some of the greats have screwed up royally and have left that day where it should have stayed, which is at that day, and they moved on to the next day. And it's like, when you tell that to some people, because we have this like culture now that people are just so scared to screw up. Yeah. People are so freaking scared of screwing up. I screw up every day. And you just got to move. You got to move on and learn from it. You learn from it the next day. It's like not all, but a lot of us are so scared to screw up we never start. So it's so hard for us to be consistent with anything. I had a kid one time. He came in and he was watching one of my buddies and then myself. He was like, man, you guys, he wasn't really talking about me. He was actually talking about my buddy, but he's like, that dude's so strong, and he's just like repping out all this other stuff, and he's doing this. Man, I wish I could do that. And I go, you could. Give yourself, 6 months to a year. He goes, 6 months to a year? He's like, holy shit, that's a long time. It's like, where you at, man? You don't know how to do this? You don't know how to, just nice and easy go on into it? No? See, he thought you have to be perfect. I was telling him, it's just, hey, doing this day and this day, and just kind of just go with it, man. It was like I was talking to, it was just like right here, just like nothing. And it was like he just couldn't understand that that's what it was. So remember, it's like all the small things add up to big, these micro goals that we make, add up to a macro type of goal or type of thing that you want to do. So I've posted videos before about, I said that I wanted to do 1,000 push-ups. I made the mistake of reading David Goggins' book, and You Can't Hurt Me, or Can't Hurt Me. And it motivated me so much and kept me disciplined, so then that way I could do it. And I don't think I've ever done 1,000 push-ups. I did it one sitting. I think it took me a little under 2 hours or something to do. I was banging out, 25 at a time, and then you'd be very surprised how quick you burn out after that. I think after like 250 of doing them that way, I started to have to go down to 10, and then I did it for 5, and then I think I was doing them in sets of 3, and I was there for a while. So it's like, every 45 seconds I would do 3. Really good push-ups too, not shitty push-ups. And I eventually worked my way up to that. But I didn't just read the book and then all of a sudden bang out 1,000 push-ups. It was, I read the book, I started practicing. I listened to what he said. You know, you don't just jump into it, which he does a lot of times because he's a savage. Um, but I started with 100, and then which I could do pretty easily, and then I started with 150. Then I went to 250. Then I went to 400, and then I went to 500, and then I kind of after that, like it was like it's like every other week I kind of just like bumped it up. I think it took me a little over, a month and 2 months to really work up to it. And then all of a sudden I was just banging out push-ups pretty effortlessly. I was doing it with weighted vests to help kind of the stimulus on, my triceps, my shoulders, and my chest. And I was just like, and after a while, I just did it and I banged out 1,000 and it was great. It was such a great feeling. And I also did it with pull-ups because he did the same thing. He did like something stupid. It's like 25,000. I don't even know what it was. To be honest with you, I'm probably butchering. I don't remember. But I was like, I'm going to do 1,000 pull-ups. I remember this because I remember practicing for it, and I think I was doing I could do like 6 really good pull-ups and then just be like exhausted afterwards. And yes, I'm a personal trainer, but you ask any person who's physically fit how hard just a simple pull-up is. And we're not talking that CrossFit shit. I'm not swinging up to the bar, which, hey, that has its place. It's not for me, but hey, whatever. Good for you. And I said I was going to do 1,000. Now, when I tell you that I could do 6 and then that, I did 50. I think I did up to 50, and I took breaks in between. And this one took me a lot longer. It took me like 3 months to work up to, doing it. A little less than 3 months, I think. And it was like, I did like 50. And then that took me this much. And then I did 100. And then I did 250. And then I did 400. And it was like, they were taking me a long time, but I was doing okay. So when I worked up to 1,000, I remember I started in the morning. I started in the morning around like 10. I was done. It was like a Saturday. It was great. And I remember like Jen walked in, she walked out. I had like 150, down. And I remember texting my buddy about going to a party or something later on that night. And then I was like, man, all right, yeah, I'll be done in like a couple hours. A couple hours later, I only had 550 on the board. And I was like, shit, this is going to take forever. So I started with, I think I was doing 10. I was doing 10 at a time. Then I went to 5 at a time, then 3 at a time, then 2 at a time. Then I'm being dead serious. I was so dead. After that, I was like 1 at a time. And I was doing it every like 30, 45 seconds, trying to recover and then doing it. And it was just excruciating. My hands were just so sore and I was dying. I was sweating, and my 100 at the time, I think it was like 179 or something. So pretty lightweight for me. It was probably a good looking weight for me, but I still, I like carrying around a little size to me. So I'm doing that, and then all of a sudden it's just like, it feels like I weigh 2 tons. And I remember, my girlfriend comes around. She's like, you're still doing this? And then I remember Jen came back. She had a client like a couple hours later. She's like, you're still doing this? And I remember, just, hey, it's those small, I'm doing 1 at a time, 3 at a time. It's just my body feels like it weighs a zillion pounds. And I did it. And it's because I stayed consistent over that short period of time. So those are small little goals that you do. So if we talked about it in the sense of the easiest way I could tell people to do this is, if you fall in love with the small things, if you could get into doing those small things that you need to do, the big things start to happen. It's just something you need to understand if you're going to do anything in your life, anything, whether it be for business, whether it be for, your health, whether it be for, a relationship, whether it be for your kids or just learning a language, or just something that you want to learn, you got to start somewhere. And it's usually just practicing every day. Hey, I practice with my cats all the time to give me knuckles, to give me dabs. Yo, that shit works. Now I go, yo, Minkus, my main man Minkus, yo, give me dabs, give me knuckles. This dude, bop, right up. It happened. You know what I mean? Yes. Have I been practicing probably every other day with them? Yes. So it's like, it works. You can even teach a cat how to give you knuckles. It's great. Yeah. It really is something I'm doing. Get home, drop my bags. I'm like, all right, time to go to school, you little sons of bitches. Let's go. And then but it's like just with anything. People are like, how the hell did you do that? I'm like, just every other day I practice. That's it. It works. I know it's not as crazy as an achievement, but it's cute as hell. So, it's like you gotta fall in love with the small, and then all the big stuff starts just happening around you. And once it does, like, you start to realize that you setting goals or setting yourself up for success isn't about perfecting the day. It's about the consistency in your list for the day. It's about what you did, the little things that added up into this success of the day. So it's not about perfection. It's about perfecting your list. It's about consistency of your list of the things that you need to do in order to envision it in your head. So you have to see it in the future. So that's the only thing I can say that I bring to the table is I'm consistent. That's it. My work ethic is good, so the consistency is reinforced. But I'm not talented. I'm not even all that smart. I'm constantly just learning and just like fumbling, and it's not about that. I by no means, or am I privileged? I had a family. I had a family, 4 kids, a father that made $40,000. We made like $50,000 a year per that whole household. It's like there's no privilege there. We all knew that we were going to eventually, hey man, you're going to have to work. You have to work your ass off. Nothing's going to be given. So the one thing that I knew that I could do is, I want to say suffer, but I can suffer through things, and I can endure, and I can create resiliency. So I'm not necessarily talented. I'm just resilient and consistent. So take it from me. If you're like me, or if you have related to anything that I've said during this 22 minutes of blabbing on about consistency, that's all you needed to do was just stay consistent. You didn't have to be perfect. You didn't have to be talented. You didn't even have to be privileged. You don't have to have any of those things. I think this is a message that needs to be said now more than ever. Maybe. I don't know how it'll be received. I hope it'd be received, with open arms for those of us who are high school dropout, kids that were just poor and just tried to do the best we can. Everybody sees what I have now, and, I'm a minimalist at heart, so it's like easy for me to just, kind of perfect my craft and stay consistent and sink time, effort, love, into what I'm doing. So they all see it now, and they don't realize that, this takes time, and this is what you love to do. So if you're like me, just stay consistent. It's not about being perfect. It's just about small things done well add up. So listen, if you guys can take anything from this, fall in love with small. I'm out of here.
Live Sculpted.